all good and honest men?
Yes, they are. Otherwise, it would be proper for them to suffer salvation, body and soul.
If they had any allegiance when they were chosen from the prince's watch, a punishment like that would be too good for them.
Well, give them their assignment, Sir Dogberry.
First, which man do you think is most desertless to be the leader of the watch?
Either Hugh Oaticake, sir, or else George Seacole, because both of them can read and write.
Come here, Sir Seacole. God has blessed you with a good name. To be good-looking is a matter of luck, but to read and write is a natural gift. Both of which, Master Constable, you have. I knew that would be your answer. Well, for your good looks, sir, thank God, and don't boast about it. As you're reading and writing, use those skills when you can't use your looks. You're thought to be the most senseless and fit man here, so you will carry the lantern to be constable. This is your assignment. You'll comprehend any vagrant man you see. You are to order all the men to stop in the prince's name. And what if he won't stop? Well, then don't bother with him and let him go. Then immediately call the rest of the watchmen and thank God that you've gotten rid of such a criminal.
If he won't stop when he's told to, then he isn't one of the prince's subjects.
True, and you aren't supposed to meddle with anyone but the prince's subjects. You also stay quiet in the streets, for a babbling watch is most tolerable and will not be endured. If he won't stop when he's told to, then he isn't one of the prince's subjects. Why? You speak like an experienced and quiet watchman. Sleeping on the watch shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure that your weapons don't get stolen. Also, you're supposed to visit all the bars and tell anyone who's drunk to go home and go to bed.
What if they won't go?
Well then, leave them alone until they're sober. If even then they don't answer to your satisfaction, you can just say that they're not the watchmen you thought they were. Very good, sir. If you meet a thief, you can expect him to be dishonest. The less you have to do with that kind of man, the more honest you will be.
So if we know that a man is a thief, should we try to arrest him?
Your position permits you to, but I think those who stick their hands in pitch get their hands dirty. If you encounter a thief, I think the most peaceable thing to do is to let him be himself and steal away.
You've always been known as a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I wouldn't even hang a dog, much more a man who has any honesty in him.
If you hear a child crying in the night, you should call the nurse and tell her to quiet the child.
What if the nurse is asleep and doesn't hear us? Well then, leave quietly. Then let the children's crying wake up the nurse. Then, ew, that doesn't get to her lamb when it baws. It never tends to another animal's child. That's very true. And that's the end of your assignment. You, constable, are representing the prince himself. If you meet the prince in the night, you can order him to stop.
No, by Our Lady, I don't think he can.
I'll bet any man who knows the law 5 shillings to run on it. Truly, though, you can't stop the prince without the prince's consent, for the watch shouldn't offend anyone, and it's not offense to keep a man without his consent.
By Our Lady, I think that's true.
Ha ha ha. Well, gentlemen, good night. And if anything important happens, find me and let me know. Keep each other's secrets and your own. Good night. Come, friend.
Well, gentlemen, I've heard our assignment. Let's sit here on the church bench until 2 and then go off to bed.
One more thing, good gentlemen. Watch over Signor Leonto's house. With the wedding being held there tomorrow, there's a great to-do there tonight. Adios, I beg you.
Comrade! Comrade, I say.
I'm here, man, at your elbow! Come to think of it, I thought your fellow scabbed there. I'll get you for that. Now, get on with your story.
Since it's so drizzling, stand under its overhang with me, and like a true drunk, I'll tell you everything.
There's some treason occurring, gentlemen. Stay here.
You should know I've earned 1,000 gold pieces from Don John.
Possible that any crime could be so vulnerable?
She'd ask and said if it's possible that any criminal who would be so rich, because when rich villains need poor villain services, those poor ones can name the price.
Gasp! I can't believe it!
This only proves how inexperienced you are. You know that the style of a man's jacket or hat or coat means nothing.
Yes, it's just clothing!
No, I mean the fashion of a man's clothing tells us nothing about the man.
Yes, fashion is fashion!
Come on, I might as well say the fool's a fool, but did not see what a deformed villain fashion is.
I know that man, deformed for the past 7 years. He's been a wicked thief. He walks around as if he were a gentleman. I remember that name.
Did I hear someone?
Just the weather van moving.
As I say, fashion is a deformed villain. It makes hot-blooded young men spin around feverishly, changing their appearances, detecting that sometimes they dress like Pharaoh's soldiers in their grimy painting, and sometimes like the priests of God Bala, as seen in the old church windows, and sometimes fashion dresses them like the great Hercules in the dirty, worm-eaten tapestry. The one wears codpiece scenes almost as big as his club.
I get all this, and I also understand how fashion changes so quickly that a man's clothing never gets to change to wear itself out. But you're all
why. Why would you stray from your story to blab on about it? No, but I'm not wound up. Let me tell you that I seduced Margaret, the lady hero's waiting woman, tonight. I called her Hero the whole time. She leaned out of the mistress's window and told me good night 1,000 times. By telling the story poorly, I should backtrack and begin how my master Don Juan arranged for the Prince Claudio and himself to witness his friendly encounter from the orchid.
They thought Margaret was Hero?
The Prince and Claudio did, but the devil, my master, knew that it was Margaret. They believed the charade partly because of my master's testimony, which first caused them to doubt Hero, and partly because of how dark and deceiving the night was, but mostly because of my villainous actions, which confirmed Don John's slander. Claudio went away enraged, swearing that he met Hero at the temple as planned in there, before the entire congregation, shame her with what he discovered, and send her home without a husband.
We told you, in the prince's name, to stop.
We call up the master, Constable Dogberry. We have recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that has ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one of them is a criminal deformed. I know him. Here is a lock of hair.
Gentlemen!
I'll bet you'll be forced to bring deformed forward.
Gentlemen, don't speak. We obey you to come with us. We'll probably be very valuable catch of these men.
Well, our value is debatable. I bet. Let's go. We'll obey you.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do